Hey y'all, welcome back. Just got done with today's workout. Like always, it's a fun one. I think you're going to enjoy it. Stay tuned, especially if you're doing the at-home workout with dumbbells or kettlebells, because today the strategies usually are pretty similar. Today the strategies are going to have to be a little different, and we'll talk about that. So we have 21, 15, 9 reps for intensity and technique, meaning we're going to prioritize making it look good over trying to get the best absolute time as possible. And that's going to be really hard to do in this one, and you just got to keep that priority. So we're going to do squat cleans using around 40% of a 1 rep max, then horizontal ring rows, and that's just where you get your feet up on a box so when you pull up, your body is horizontal to the ground, and it just changes that angle. When we're doing pull-ups, we have that angle coming from overhead. The ring rows are going to be more of like a seated row angle. So changing it up just a little bit. But since these are a strict movement and we don't have kipping involved in these horizontal ring rows, then burnout is a real thing we need to consider, and we got to keep that in mind. We have a little asterisk here next to the cleans, and you have to do a minimum of sets of 3. So every time you pick up the bar, you have to do at least 3 reps. So this is not a workout. We just do a rep, put it down. Rep, drop it, rep, drop it, rep, drop it. We're trying to avoid that. We're trying to make you link them. So learning how to come up out of the clean, re-grip, that hook grip is going to be important. One, it's going to make it easier to hold on, which is going to be a big factor once your biceps blow up, because that always blows up the grip. But also, if we're hanging on to that grip up here, again, that's going to use more grip strength, and that's going to blow it up for these later things. So if we don't have a barbell, we're just going to switch these over and go dumbbell or kettlebell squat cleans. And the thing with those is because the barbell isn't spinning and rotating with your hand, it uses a ton more biceps. So typically we like to change the ring rows into bicep curls, but today we're going to change them into bent over rows so we can get tied into the back a little bit more like we would with a barbell, because that's going to make us do. So these kind of flip and alternate here as they line up together. Where the barbell, you can use more back to keep the bar in. Ring rows are going to be bicep. The cleans with a dumbbell or kettlebell are going to be more bicep. So then we're going to change the ring row sub over to bent over rows to tie in the back a little bit more. So that's why we've made those decisions there. So what does this one feel like? I think it took me about 9.5 minutes. Again, on all these for intensity and technique, I honestly don't pay attention too much on the time besides trying to get an idea of where we're going to cap the classes. So we're going to count the classes on this one today at 16 minutes. And really we have the minimum sets of 3, and I would stick with that for your plan. If you're doing the dumbbells or the barbell, I would start with sets of 3. It's these 21, 15, 9 workouts are never about the first round. It's always about the round of 15. And you always want to come out a little conservative if you've never done that exact workout before, and you can always pick the pace up later. So on that first set of 3, I thought it was kind of a joke, and I was already sitting there going like, ooh, maybe I should have done like 5 or 7. And then pretty quickly, I was kind of happy that I did sets of 3 on that first set of 21. And then once I went to the ring rows and came back to the bar again and had to grip after the ring rows, I was destroyed, and I was so glad I did sets of 3 on that first one. So really what you feel like is when you get back to the barbell, you really have to use those lat muscles to pull the bar in, and you can't be doing any kind of bicep movement. And then, we got to flip the thinking there on those. The horizontal ring rows, kind of the same strategies we would use for push-ups, is as soon as you hit that hard rep, you're in a lot of trouble. I hit that hard rep, and I really burned out hard, and I got towards the end where I was failing on reps and had to sit there and rest a really long time. So same kind of strategy. You should come out really conservative, and you can always pick the pace up. And I would go real conservative of the round of 21, and then on the round of 15, start conservative, and once you get about halfway through that round, that's where you can get a little more aggressive with it. But I kind of burned out towards the end of the 15, and I burned out because of that on the 9. And once you burn out, it's just survival mode then. But it's a real good one. You got to manage that grip. Biceps tie so much into the forearms, which is a huge part of that grip. So as soon as you go through that first round of 21 of the ring rows and you come back to grip the next thing, you really have to pay attention to how do we get the bar in without using the biceps. So this is just kind of hang in there. You're going to have to update and adjust your strategies as you go. Come out a little conservative, update it as you go. And let's really work on how do we tie the back in when we're trying to do these exercises, and how do we manage reps, muscle fatigue, and grip strength when we're doing these other ones. So again, 16-minute cap. It's a fun one. Cardio is a little bit of a factor on the squat cleans, and cardio more of the anaerobic kind of dizziness, but really it's going to be grip, and if you're pushing the squat cleans, it's going to be the legs are burning, and then the arms and muscle fatigue there. I think I'm just repeating myself over and over again now, so I'll let y'all go. Have a fun one. I enjoyed it. Hope you do too. Talk to y'all soon.